episode 20. Oh shit. Every time I hear that intro music, man, I get so lit. I just feel it, I can feel it in my bones. Feel it in my balls. Feel it in my sack. Tingling up. Boiling up like you're about to make some ramen. When you're just staring at the water and you see one bubble come up, you're like, oh shit, it's about to happen. And you get a spoon, you stir that shit, you see like 4 more bubbles come up, you're like, oh shit. Then you turn around, do something weird, you come back and you're like, oh shit, it's bubbling. And you throw the ramen in. It's awesome. That's how I feel. I want to start this podcast off with a special shout out to Griselda, because I've been listening to them so fucking much. This Benny verse, I want to read a part that's stuck in my head. Is fucking ridiculous. You know the outcome when your pedigree is Martin Malcolm. Don't appreciate you, and when you dead, they study all your albums. I was young and son of the niggas that you call 1,000. I was hustling, fronting old niggas all the ounces. Caught a brick under my mattress and my father found it. Wanted me out, and all I did was make him call it down here. I just put my dick in her mouth. You bought that whole Laboutins. I fucked it up. Alright, Laboutins? What the fuck are Laboutins? Let's look up what Laboutins are. Cause that's... I don't know. Louis Vuittons? Louis Vuitton. Oh, it's a shoe. Okay. Let's see what kind of shoe it is. Might be a sexy shoe. I think I'm going to start the podcast off every time now with rap lyrics. Oh, Laboutins. Laboutins. Because that has to rhyme with Falcons. Because that's what he says next. If you haven't listened to that Griselda album, I think it's called What Would Chino Do? Do yourself a favor and go listen to it. That shit is ridiculous. I was figure drawing, so I was trying to keep up with figure drawing, and there's a fucking quarantine now. This is day fucking 18 of the quarantine, and I haven't been able to go to figure drawing. So my one roommate, luckily, is a figure model. So I was like, hey, is it cool if I draw you? And she's like, yeah, dude, whatever. And so she comes in, and I play gritty rap music all the time so much that it's like jazz music to me. It's just relaxing. It's just in the background, but I don't really understand the impact. This happens to me all the time. It happens to me it's just relaxing. It's like lounge music. But to other people it could be like, oh my god, why are you listening to this misogynistic gangsta ass music? And so she's posing and I forget which song. No, it was actually the old groove with the lyrics I literally just read came on. And it got to the point where he's like, I put my dick in her mouth, you bust that bitch Laboutins. And I was just like, yeah, sorry about that. Griselda's kind of gritty. She's like, no, it's cool. Is this from this year? And she's like, what year is this from? I was like, it's new, yo. It's that new shit, man. It's that New York revival shit, yo. You ain't listened to Griselda yet? You gotta do it. Shit is ridiculous. Fuck, man. But what else happened this week? I got fucking. So I've been trying to keep up with figure drawing. That was the end of that little segue there. I did some shitty ones too. That's what sucks about figure drawing. Is if you're in the groove, you're in the pocket, you're going at least once a week. Maybe if you're going once a week, you get some shit. By week 3, you're in a groove. You know how to do it. You know how to fill the page nicely with a model. You know how to do the straights versus curves. I don't know. You just get into this pocket where you're kind of having fun. But man, when you slip, I missed 2 weeks of this shit. Oh man, that is the fucking worst. It's she came over and looked. She was like, "Oh, can I check them out?" And I was like, "Yep." I was like, I'm trying to keep them loose. She was like, yeah, they're pretty loose. And I had a finished piece next to my drawing setup. She was like, yeah, it's really weird to look at this and then look at that. And I was like, noted. I'm fucking rusty. Before I started drawing her, I got an email about getting furloughed from work. So I was just like, oh man. fuck. Because, like, we've been getting emails since we've been out of work for like 2 weeks being like, hey, it's okay, we're looking into funding, you know, we're going to make it through this as a team. Worst comes to worst, maybe we'll just use up sick days. And then, like, the messages just slowly got, like, worse and worse. It was like, okay, everything is getting shut down. Maybe if we use sick days, they'll be at, like, 60%. Maybe we can use up personal days at about 50% pay. And I was like, oh, man, this is getting real. So I just stopped checking emails and shit. And I just started, like, I'm just going to draw. I'm just going to keep drawing. So kept just trying to fill up the sketchbook. And then I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, my roommate said it was cool. I could draw. Like, let me try and actually do this. Because I've been drawing off pictures, like, this entire break. And, like, when you draw off pictures too much, you start to... I feel like you just, like... I just forget to do, like, the anatomy breakdown before just drawing a picture. And I just start drawing the fucking picture. So I'm trying to, like, oh, wait, I got to get back to construction. I got to get back to, like, constructing the pose instead of just, like, oh, I took this picture of myself doing this pose. Good. My work's done. Now I just have to recreate this picture. Trying not to do that. And so I grabbed her and then, like, literally, like, she was like, hey, I'm going to go change. And I was like, all right, cool. And when she came back, I got that fucking email. And it just took all the fucking gas out of my tank. Which kind of sucks because it was like, I thought I was going to be good, you know? Like, I was like, you know, I literally don't take sick days. I don't really take that many personal days. And I have, like, a shit ton of vacation days. Like, we'll be good. They can just use all those up, whatever. I'll still have money coming in. And I didn't. And I was like, the shit just got swept out from underneath me, man. And, like, luckily I have savings. Luckily, like, I'm good. Like, I was a good boy last year. Like, you know, I've really was like, I'm not going into 30s without a savings account. Like, all throughout my 20s, I didn't save shit. But, like, 30, I'm saving, like, 29. No, it was, like, 28. I've been saving money since, like, 28. So, luckily, you know, I have money. But, like, the thing that really kind of fucked with me was just like, man... Like, I hate this job. Like, I hate working full-time and trying to, like, do drawing and shit on the side. But it's not even, like, on the side. I do both. You know, I do fucking 40 hours a week at my fucking job, and I draw fucking... I don't know. I haven't counted because I don't actually want to know the numbers. Probably not that great. But I draw a lot. And, you know, it just hit me. It was just like, man, like, I literally gave this company, like, 3 years of my life. And, like, good shit happened. Like, a lot of good shit happened. Like, the job literally paid for me to go table at places. You know, I could just, if I saw, like, an event where it was, like, the table fee, it was, like, you know, $100. I was like, yeah, I can got that. Easily got that. And, you know, so it had benefits to it. You know, like, I get free art supplies pretty much. For the most part, you know, paper and shit. It's kind of in abundance there. I worked at a fucking art school. And then, you know, you just never think, you're like, well, the reason I have a fucking job is so I don't have to think about anything else, really. Like, my bills can be paid for. Everything's good. And so I kind of just worked like that. And then all of a sudden, just like, boop, your plan A's gone. Boop, just snatched out from me, man. And, like, I felt just bitter. Like, I was just like, motherfucker. Like, y'all were supposed to look out for me. And, you know, they're not. It's like a job. Like, there's a fucking job. Like, they don't give a fuck about me. I'm a fucking janitor, you know what I mean? Like, sweep the floors. I sweep the floors, and midway me sweeping the floor, someone walks right through it, you know? I'm like, what the fuck, man? No one cares. So, that just took all the spirit out of me. Like, I felt bad because I had to draw her. And I drew her so terribly because, like, I was just, like, not in it. Like, I wanted, at that moment, to just fall on the sword and be miserable. But I luckily didn't post, you know, I didn't post anything about it. I didn't go on, like, my immediate thought was to be like, oh, yeah, you gotta post on Facebook. Like, oh, you gotta tell your mom. Like, I just wanted, like, attention for it. It sucks being a human. I hate being emotional human because like something bad happens and like the first thing you think about is just like, who can I tell? I need assurance, and right now I need backup now. I need people to feel sorry for me. So 25-year-old Derek would have hopped right over on the Facebook and made that post, but 31, I fucking got through it. I didn't even think I drank. I was gonna drink that night. Or no, did I drink? No, I didn't drink that night. I wanted to. I really wanted to do like nothing. Just nothing. But the takeaway that I was trying to explain to I told my girlfriend. I did actually kind of get dramatic with her. She was like, she sent me like a message about like, hey, my call went great or something like that. And I was just like, word, I just got laid off. And then she like called and I didn't answer the phone because I was in the middle of drawing. So in her head, she was just like, oh my God, he's freaking out. He's probably like losing it. And she's like trying to text me and like I'm still drawing. And then I text her back and I'm like, hey, drawing right now. I'm good. And she's just like, should I come over? And then she like 10 minutes later, she just showed up. I was like, oh yeah, I was good. Like I just was drawing Rachel. And she's like, oh, I thought you were like freaking out. Or I was like, nah, I am, but I'm good at the same time. I'm cool. It's just more of like a letdown, man. It's just like, God damn it. Now I gotta apply for, like, I applied for unemployment. Like, there's a black man, like, you don't ever want to really do that. It just doesn't feel good. It's just like, great, I'm a statistic now. Woo! There's this office, that's like the Social Security office that I literally bike past on my way to work, like, every day. And I see just, like, a line of black people out there, like, every day. And sometimes old Chinese people. But I just, like, every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, man, am I going to be there one day? Oh, my God, like, if this drawing shit don't work out, am I going to be on Social Security? Like, what the fuck is Social Security? I don't even know what the fuck it is. I don't want to be in that line with all those people. I don't want to be a statistic. Like, it's just, like, my fear, And then, I had to sign up for it because our boss is like, hey, you're furloughed. This sucks. I'm sorry, but your last paycheck's getting sent out to you. Maybe we'll reopen in June. I don't really know. But here's the link to unemployment. You should apply for it, like, right now. And I was like, fuck. So I just did it. I didn't feel good about it, man. That doesn't feel good. You want to... Maybe it's not bad to do it, but my parents frowned upon it growing up. I grew up very much nigger rich. It's a nice term that you learn from your white homies. That's when, if you're not familiar with that term, it's when you look rich on the outside, but on the inside you live check to check. So we had a nice house, nice cars, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that on the inside. It was nice on the inside, too, actually. It was really nice. Everything was nice, but my parents were struggling. But the one thing that they were just like, we will never be on unemployment. Or we will never have an EBT card. Like, they would, like, scoff at other people using EBT cards and shit. So I think that's probably where that stigma comes from. But, yeah, man, I don't know. It didn't feel good. Plus, you have to, like, check in every week to see, like they ask you to check in. They're like, hey, man, you got a job yet? Like, they were like, what do you do? What did you last do? And I was like, I'm a fucking janitor. And they're like, oh, okay. We're going to be looking out for janitor jobs for you because they don't want you to stay on the fucking shit. So, I don't know. I'm like, damn, are they going to, like, because I know motherfuckers are still cleaning. I'm like, are they going to try and get me to, like, work at, like, a fucking hospital or something right now? Because I'm done, I hated that job. Fucking job sucks. It's not so much that cleaning sucks. It's that you have to clean every day. Like, you gotta clean every day and no one ever comes up to you and is like, hey man, you know what? Thanks. As they're about to go, like, destroy the toilet you just, like, scrubbed. That job broke me down within a week. Like, I for the first week, I cleaned everything like you wouldn't believe. Like, the shit was sparkling. And then after my boss came up to me and he was like, hey, this isn't a hotel. You don't have to clean this much. I said, all right, fuck it. Fuck this. And, man. Woo. My contempt for that job is just, you know. But it's like I said, man, just paid for everything. It was like, I hate this fucking thing, but hey, you know, I don't have to worry about shit. You know, got to be there for 8 hours a day. But other than that, solid. We had a solid thing going. You know, it's like being in an abusive relationship. You know, I got to make up all these excuses for feeling unhappy and unwanted. But you know, they paid for me to table at Punk Rock Flea Market last year, and I haven't had to think about my bills. But and your friend's like, well, are you happy? It's like, well, what is happiness, really? I mean, because happiness is different for everyone, you know? Like, it's like bouncing back and forth between that for like 3 years, so it's not a bad thing. It's definitely made me think, like, you know what? I've been drawing anyway this entire time. Like, I didn't relax, like, at all while I was working. So, like, maybe this is just the push that I needed to just go full-time with drawing. You know? Figure that shit out. So we'll see. We'll see what the fuck's going on. I mean, I got everything I need to be a full-time artist. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to do art full-time. You know, I like, maybe. Some days for sure. There's some days where it's like, I really like legit, like, I'm like, oh man, I can't like kind of wait to sit down and draw. Like, but then that's balanced out with like 3 days of like, man, I kind of just want to get drunk. I kind of want to just get drunk and watch all the comedy specials that are on Netflix and then start a podcast about me watching comedy specials on Netflix. And then it's like, hey man, get it together. Like, fucking, you got to draw. No one's going to listen to that shit. You know? So, it's weird. It's definitely like a... I wouldn't mind drawing for like full time. I mean, I could go through all the stereotypical reasons for not really wanting to draw. Like, you know, nothing's worse than finishing a job and then you have to wait 60 days to get paid, because that whole 30 days thing is a lot of, especially the bigger the company, man. Oh, them motherfuckers, they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about you. That's like the thing that kind of sucks about being freelance is like they pressure you into delivering something on time. You know, hey, buddy, we know you're probably busy right now, but like, do you want to do this job for us? It's like, sure, I want to do this job for you because I need the fucking money. All right, cool. We need you to do a cover. We need it in 4 days. And you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, 4 days? What the fuck is that? And then, like, you're like, how about 5? And you're like, we really need it in 4, but 5's okay. Just try and get it to us by, like, the 26th. And then, like, you drop everything and you fucking fit it into your schedule. I'm sounding like a fucking... This isn't a good mentality to have. You know what? Fuck that. No. We're going positive. Fuck that. We're not going negative. But, I mean, the gist of that is that it's a weird relationship that there's a deadline in place for things to get done. There's like a up in the air deadline for when you get paid. It's never, I mean, when you work with like an aspiring creator, they pay you on time. That's always nice. But like the big checks, you know, like with like, you know, I'm trying to think of the last big person I worked for. Eagles. The Eagles were actually pretty sweet. They paid on time. They paid really, really fucking fast, actually. So shout out to the Eagles. Also, they didn't sign my contract, so technically I can make prints of that fucking art piece I did for them. I did a piece for the Eagles for a game that they got like mollywopped on. That shit was awful. I did the Eagles poster. It was them versus like it was them versus Detroit Lions. And so, like, I did this gig. I was like, oh, man, this is fucking nuts. I'm, like, kind of getting big. Oh, fuck, the Eagles want me to do something for them? Oh, shit. So I got to go down to, like, the Eagles stadium and pick up my check for, like, the first half. And, like, I got to walk around. I got to see these. It was literally like walking into, like, the Avengers compound. These 3 dudes walking out were literally 2 of me standing on my shoulders and just, like, walking with the utmost confidence. I was like, man, I don't think I'll ever have that amount of confidence. Like they were literally about to go out and, like, stop Thanos. It was insane. And they had a lot of candy there, which was really weird. Like, at the front desk, like, I had to walk up, and I was like, hey, they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, random black man. Like, you know, I dressed kind of bummy. I dressed like an artist. I definitely look like I definitely straddle the line between artist and homeless. So I walk in, and there's, like, this lady sitting behind the desk. There's a 3-team Avenger piece just walking by me. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And in front of this lady, there's just, like, an assload of free candy. Like, full-size Snickers bars, Nerds, like a fuck ton of candy. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, did the Eagles eat all this? She was like, oh, we just have it. And she was like, you want some? I was like, yeah. And so I took a bunch of Nerds, and I walked upstairs and talked to this dude and had to be, like, really enthusiastic about Eagles stuff because I was like, I don't watch football, but I'm not going to tell. It was like, now's not the time to try to be cool and be like, yeah, you know, I know football, but I don't really follow it. Like, I was just like, yeah, football. Yeah, because I actually come from a football family. So I was like, yeah, you know, yup, football. Yeah, man. Yup, that's cool. And picked up my check, got out of there, went home, drew the fucking poster, and I wrote my contract. I was like, hey, this is just a pretty standard, like, work for hire contract since you guys haven't sent me one yet. And they were like, yeah, we're working on one, but can you get started? And I was like, no, I don't really like to work without contracts in place. And he was like, all right, what if we just paid you half and then you just got to work? I was like, okay. And so I finished that shit, but I was like, also, and I was like, I'm just going to send you a contract just so, you know, there's proof. I don't know. And in the contract I wrote, I was like, I also want a free admission to the game. That I'm drawing for. So it was pretty cool. They did, like, a little signing, which was neat. So me and my girlfriend got to go down to the Eagles stadium again, and we got lost for an hour. And they were, like, calling us like, hey, where you guys at? We got a huge line waiting for you to sign these posters. Like, I was like, yo, can you come grab us? Like, we don't know where the fuck we are, man. This thing is huge. The fucking Eagles stadium is literally the size of South Philly. It is insane. They have, like, their own police force. They have their own electric grid. They use fucking solar panels to power all that shit down there. It's insane. I've never seen that many cops in my life. It was fucking crazy. My girlfriend never seen a tailgating thing before, so that was wild. She's just like, where all these TVs come from? I was like, they bring them. She's like, they bring all these TVs and they just sit in the parking lot and get drunk? I was like, yeah, let's go tailgating. She's like, this is tailgating? I was like, yeah. It's, you know, I don't know what weird white people do. I don't know. And black people. A lot of black people do. But, so we finally got in, and there is, in fact, a gigantic line waiting for me. Waiting to be, because what they did was I drew a poster, they printed them up, and they only printed, like, 250. So, like, the first 250 people to come in got a free poster that day. And then they never make them again. So they were nice. They were, like, these giant 18 by 24 posters. I was an idiot, and I drew my design at 11 by 17, thinking that it would double up in size. It didn't, and they were pretty mad about that. And I was like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I was like, make it work. I don't know. And so they ended up cropping out some of my art, which is really annoying. That was really annoying because I was the entire time staring at these things. I'm just like, yeah, dude, there's more lion up at the top, but it got cropped out, and it's my fault. So. Whatever, I just won't mention that. And so I'm signing, literally, like, just signing posters and just, you know, handing them off to people. It was like a huge line. It was like, holy shit, this is crazy. I'm smiling, I'm like, whoa, this is fucking nuts. People are like, hey, bud, good job. I'd still get the stupid fucking question of, hey, did you draw this? I was like, no, I'm just signing this piece of paper that you're standing in line for, you fucking moron. Like, what's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Are you fucking with me? You don't think black people can draw? That's what my immediate thought is like, when people come up to me at a table event where I'm the only person behind the table and the first thing out their mouth is, did you do this? I'm like, I've just immediately started saying no. I've lost sales because of it. And I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy's $20. I don't need that shit. I don't need a stupid person's $20 weighing my fucking wallet down with their stupidity. Of course I did it. But about halfway through of me signing all these posters, I had a course negative existential moment where I looked up and I still had about 150 people in line, more than that. It was insane. And I had only like 150 posters left. And I was like, it hit me. I was like, these people aren't here for me. They're here for the fucking Eagles. And immediately, like, the smile just went away from my face. All the small talk just dropped out. I just kept my head down and I just signed and just passed them off to the left of me. And my girlfriend's like, you okay? You all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm all right. She's like, what's the matter? I was like, man, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about my art. They're only here because it's fucking Eagles shit. And she was just like, yeah, but you still got to draw the thing that they like. A lot of people liked it. And I was like, man, yeah, but, you know, I was supposed to think like, yeah, it was so fucking funny. I was just like, man, I can't believe my negative ass brain did that. Instead of me just being like stoked and walking away like, yeah, that was great. That was fucking awesome. I can't believe I talked to that many people. Gave them my poster. There's 250 people out there now with my art on their wall. Instead, my brain was just like, nah, son, don't even let this touch the ego because the motherfuckers definitely ain't here for you. But after that, we did get that crazy eagle sandwich, which was really cool. It was like a cheese steak. What the hell is that sandwich called? It's called like the snorkeler or some shit. The guzzler. What the fuck is like the Eagle Stadium sandwich called? Eagle Stadium. I can't wait. Eagle Stadium sandwich. Man, what is that thing called? I don't know. Okay. Well, that didn't give us anything. Ah, man, it's called like the... Oh, it's going to bug the shit out of me. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But it was like some crazy... They put like every meat that they had on this sandwich, and then they like deep fried it. I don't know if they deep fried it, but it was the most unhealthiest, delicious thing I've ever had. And they gave it to us for free. The guy, like, I guess, like, saw me, knew I was the artist, and like winked at me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, sweet, we got free shit. And then we snuck in because we didn't get free tickets. He was like, I mean, you guys can, because like technically you can, if you get in, you can just walk up and like stand and watch the game. But I was like, no, man, fuck that. It's like, fuck that. Because afterwards, after Mr. Negative Brain kicked in, I felt entitled, and I was like, no, you know what? Fuck that. I did this fucking poster. I'm gonna watch the goddamn game in a seat. And so we snuck into the VIP because we had like these like badges, and I was like, all right. And it worked. They were just like, yeah, you can come in. And so we snuck up. We went to these like really nice seats, like right where they run out. I was like, yeah, we're definitely gonna get kicked out, but at least we're gonna get to see them run out. So we like sat down. We both don't watch football. My girlfriend doesn't know anything about football. I don't know anything about fucking football. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. So we watched them like warm up, and the Eagles came out and they're just like throwing balls. They're dropping like a lot of balls. Like just everything that gets thrown just gets dropped. I was like, oh God, you guys are looking kind of rusty. And then the Detroit Lions came out and they were doing the same thing. And the motherfuckers were catching everything. The motherfuckers were doing drills and shit. I was like, ooh. I turned to my girl and I was like, I don't think this game's going to go well. And man, we stayed for like, we were like, let's just give it a touchdown. Because like, I'm sure like the Eagles are going to like come out and beat the shit out of this. And my poster had this linebacker just plowing through like Detroit Lions, and all the fans kept saying, "Yeah, we're going to do that today." And I was like, "Yep, probably not. I don't know. Sure, take this goddamn poster and get away from me." And sure enough, the first goal that gets scored is fucking Lions, and I was like, "Yeah, we should get out of here." And as we were leaving, another fucking goal got scored, and as we got to the car, man, it was like 21-0 Detroit Lions. I was like, ooh. And I just immediately, because I'm a selfish person, I just was like, do you think they're losing because of my poster? Oh, what a day. What a day that was. That was crazy. That was a good year. Last year was pretty good for weird freelance gigs. I had a mural. Had a mural go up in the airport and talk about that. That was cool. Big old wall there in the airport at Terminal D. Derek, that was dope. They put that together. Got that thing in there. A bunch of people saw it. I did that Youngblood graphic novel. You know the funny thing is though, man, it's like I think my work still sucks because my numbers don't really change. Like, I did that Eagles gig. I think I got, maybe 10 more people following me. I did that Youngblood graphic novel. I was like, oh, at least I get a bunch of Youngblood fans. I didn't get shit. And then I did the airport, actually. I think I actually got a lot of followers from that. Any, the building stuff, man. Anytime I draw a fucking building, man, people go bonkers on that shit, man. After I do, a punk rock flea market, fucking my numbers go up. It's crazy. I'm like, and it's hard to deal with because it's like in my head, I want to be a fucking comic book artist. I'm like, I want to draw people doing things, and I want to be able to draw Superman fighting Batman, even though I don't like Superman or Batman that much. It'd still be nice to just be able to do it and have someone be like, "Oh, it's cool." But man, when I I suck at drawing humans, I think, and I think people are catching on, man, because no one gives a fuck when I draw a human. I draw a goddamn building, boy, people are like, there's so much life in this. There's so much articulation. Oh my god, you really captured Philly well. And I'm like, yeah, but look at that. I drew Spider-Man, I had to take pictures of me doing that pose. I had to break that anatomy down. I had to draw that fucking costume. You know how hard that costume is to draw? And they're like, but dude, these South Philly buildings, bro? I'm like, oh, man. So I'm getting in my own way, again, by not just taking the easy way out and just being like, you know what, I should just ride this building thing out. Instead, I'm fucking making it hard for myself. I keep taking these fucking comic gigs that, they don't really do anything, man. Duck Boy did pretty decent. I sold out of them. That was cool. And Youngblood. Hey, you know what? That's a fucked up thing about. All right, so my comic art sells out, and then either if I self-publish it, I don't print it again because I'm just like, well, I don't feel like doing that again, or I work with someone that prints it, a small publisher. They print it and they do one run and then it's gone, or the Youngblood. Fucking graphic novels sold out in pre-order, so when it came out, I told a bunch of people, and they're like, well, where is it? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, it's not in your comic store? They're like, no. And I was like, man, what the fuck? I lost my whole summer to that fucking gig. And, none of my friends can really find it unless I give them one of my copies. So, it's me and comics is fucking weird, man. It's a weird relationship. It's a fucking weird fucking relationship. But I'm working on some comics now, actually. Gonna do the second Youngblood comic, so it's kind of good timing that I got laid off, because now I can just plunge into that and this other book I'm doing called Gimme That Mummy. So I'm doing 2 comics at once, and of course some buildings as well. So it's weird, though. I want to talk to other artists about that, the thing that you want to do versus the thing that works for you. And, the bummer of that. Because it's, literally, if I do, a punk rock flea market or a show, I do well. And it's not, I'm not bragging. It astonishes me every time. I'm like, wow, people really like fucking buildings. It's weird, but like you know what I mean? I'll leave the show and I'm like, man, I gotta get shit printed again. Like, this is fucking weird. But if I do a comic show, I leave depressed and angry because I'm just like, really? Nobody wanted to take a chance on this fucking book? Nobody wanted to read this fucking shit? No one wanted to read this at all, huh? Okay, fuck it. And then I still keep doing them. I still keep chasing the dragon, man. Comics are addicting because it's a bunch of tiny little pictures, you know? For me, if you ask another comic artist, they're probably like, oh, you know, I just love the storytelling aspect. I love that I can be a writer, director, actor, producer in my own film, and like I don't have to pay for it, you know, or like there's no budget, there's no limit to what I can do in a comics medium. Meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, I like putting pictures together on a piece of paper, and you know, there's people in it, and they're doing things, and yeah, I like that a lot. And I like that at the end of it, it's a giant book of that, and there's a bunch of little art, and I drew some of the art, so I like that a lot. That's comics for me. I just really enjoy the look and the feel of the medium. Like, storytelling's cool, but there's a lot of characters, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of ups and downs. I don't really like my emotions being fucked with. And that's what happens when you're watching a movie or you're reading a story. It's just like, stakes are high. Oh, God, oh no, they're going to lose. Someone's going to die. Oh, shit, that dude died. I like that dude. And then it's just like, okay, now they're in the denouement period. And then the next big guy comes. I'm like, man, this is fucking my emotions, yo. Like, I finished the first season of Westworld, and my girlfriend was like, run it back. She fucking pressed play on season 2, like right there. I was like, "Yo, we're not gonna like take a week off." Like, I'm still trying to process what the fuck happened in season 1. Like, damn, we're just jumping into this. All right. I think that's what I don't like about it. Or even like when I try to do my own comics, like I'm like, man, I gotta make like 10 fucking characters up and have these motherfuckers be different and doing shit and wants and all this shit. I don't want to play God. I should play God, though. I think that's what you have to do as a comic book creator. Is like, you gotta have a little bit of a God complex. You're fucking with you're creating people to then fuck with them. You know, like you're not creating a dude with a giant. Well, some dudes do. They'll create this, you know, character that's just like, I just like big dudes with knives and killing stuff. I just wanted to just do that, and then they do it. And there's an audience out there for that. You know, I don't really know what the fuck I do. I don't know. My comics is just like, I like to just freestyle that shit. I like to just get inspired by a picture I saw off Pinterest and be like, how can I stretch this into 9 panels? How can I draw? Is there any way that I can get away with doing a 9-panel page where it's just a woman staring out a window? Can I do that? And then I'll do it, and then no one likes it. And I'm like, damn. Fuck. I keep doing it. I don't know. It's weird, man. I've been doing this shit for 10, since 2011. So, yeah, 2011 to 2020 is 9. Oh, yeah, I'm almost at the 10-year mark. I'm almost at the decade, yo. It's the longest I've done anything. That's a fucking long time. Jesus Christ. How am I still this bad at it? I think you get good at 20. That's what I heard Ed Piskor say. He's like, once you've been doing comics for 20 years, that's when you really get it. And then you got to break through the initial 1,000 bad pages. I don't think I've done 1,000 yet. I think I'm close. No, I don't think I'm that close. I don't think I'm that close at all. I got to do more. I think of this whole year, I'm just going to do comics. Just so I can break through that threshold and just be like, all right, fuck this. I'm done. I can walk away. I always want to walk away. I think I look at comics like that guy in the action team movies where like the team gets back together and like the last person that they have to find is like he's like the bomb expert or something, or he's like the demolition dude, and he's like drunk in some fucking like, you know, pit of Mexico. He's got his head down at the bar. He hasn't showered in weeks. You know, he just lost another $100 to a bet. But he's got credit still at the bar, so he's just drinking his sorrows away. And these guys show up, and they're just like, "Hey, bud, we got one more one more rodeo. You in? And he looks up and he's just like, you motherfucker. Chugs his drink. Let's do this. That's what it's like every time I get a comic gig. I'm just like, oh God, I gotta do this again. Fuck. Maybe it'll be different. Maybe the outcome is like, I'll get a fan. You get a fan out of it. Some people still kind of fuck with my comic shit. I don't know. Every now and then I'll get amazed. I'll be at like a signing. I'll be doing something somewhere and someone's like, oh man, you're Scuzz McKinley? And I'm like, oh shit. For real? Yeah, it's me. They're like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what the fuck happened? I do like at least one a year. Fuck off. Every time I go into Brave New Worlds, the guy that's behind the counter there, he's just like, Scuzz, man, like, when are you going to do your next thing? And I was like, dude, I just finished that thing. What are you talking about? Those guys are great, though. I hope they're going to make it through this. A lot of the comic book industry right now, man, is getting the fucking Lexington steel-sized dick in the ass right now, man. We are getting the fucking business right now. Diamond just fucking shut its doors and they're like, yo, we're not shipping shit. We ain't shipping nothing. Deal with it. Hope you're still around in 3 months to come get this backstock of shit we got. It's fucking nuts. Like the only distributor. That's how fickle the industry was. Is that we only had one distributor. That's all it took. Something happened to the one distributor to literally cancel comics. No new comics came out Wednesday in physical form for the first time since comics were made. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. What's even crazier is like, I can't even really build on that because I don't really know that much about the comics industry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't even really know what else to really say about that shit because it's nuts. But hopefully all the comic book stores, can make it through this. Because there's nothing like a comic book store, man. It's like fun to be in one for a little bit. I like to go in there and be like, all right, I'm only spending $40. I'm not fucking about to blow the bank in here because I've done it. It's the worst. Blowing the bank in a comic shop is like the best/worst feeling ever. Because like, as you got money and you're just going around just grabbing shit. You're like, I don't even care what the fuck this costs. I'm just going to take it. Grab it. You go up to this thing. They're like, yo, it's going to be like one. I think the most I've spent in a comic book store in one shot was like $130 and a bunch of nerds somewhere just fucking laughed. They're like, that's nothing. And I paid that shit, slapped the card down on the table, like, bam! Treated that shit like it was Puff Daddy. I was like, take that. And then as soon as you leave, you're like, I just spent $100 on a book I'm going to read once and look at a lot, maybe. It's weird. So I try to be really careful now when I'm in a comic store. Like, I'm buying one book that I'm going to, read, enjoy a lot, and then look at a lot because I like the art. So, if you can, do something good for your local comic book store because them shits might not be around in 3 months. Again, but they bounced back from the 90s. This has happened before. We'll adapt. Everything will probably just go digital. Marvel and DC will be owned by fucking Disney soon. That's going to be awful. Fucking Donald Duck, Captain America shit. I don't want to read that. Alright, well that's it for episode 20 of the COVID tapes. Shooting this shit with D. I watched Tiger King, so I'll probably talk about that like everyone else on the planet's doing right now. That shit's wild. Fucking white people, meth is your kryptonite. So, I'll leave you with that. Alright, we out. Peace.